All right, what's going on, guys? It's Rest and welcome to another video. Now, I want to start off with this video saying that this build is a fun build. I want to say that early into the video because if you did come here for a really good in-game build, I just want to go and tell you that this is not that. However, you can take this into pretty much 95% of the game, things like normal raids, even legend lost sectors if you're running the right champion mods. I just think a lot of the interactions with this build should be very fun. It should be noted. And this is specifically for PvE, but I'd imagine in PvP, you could actually have a lot of fun with this as well. You know, it's totally okay to just have a fun build. Not every build can be as meta as the best builds in the game. And I really hope you all do enjoy this and give it a try because I do think there's a lot of stuff going into this and it is a blast to try out. All right, well, let's just jump right into it. And this is actually going to be a Stasis build, specifically focusing on the brand new origin trait, Right Hook. So this perk says when you deal melee damage, it gives this weapon increased target acquisition and range for a short period of time. Then dealing melee damage can extend the effects. So essentially when you hit somebody with your melee, you're going to get some benefits. Now, to play into that, you can also get this SMG called Blood Feud, which is a Stasis SMG that can roll with Pugilist and Swashbuckler on it. Pugilist is a perk that when you get kills, you're going to refill your melee energy, and then Swashbuckler is a perk when you get kills, you're going to get more damage. However, if you get a melee kill, it will actually get you to the max stacks of this perk immediately. So you can get up to 5 stacks, and at max, you get 33% more damage. So now, when you get your melee, you're getting more range target acquisition and 33% more damage. And when you get kills with the gun, it keeps your proc and Swashbuckler on top of giving you melee energy, which again can reproc this combo. This gun right here alone is already super synergistic in the build, and we haven't even gotten to our fragments and everything else yet. Now, since we're already on weapons, I just like running Regret because it does match with our Stasis subclass and it will pair with some of our mods. But you can run really whatever weapons you want to, whatever champion mods you need to run, so you can take this into harder content. Fourth Horseman's a very fun exotic though, because you could just burst down an enemy with this. Now, since we're heavily playing into melee abilities with our weapon, we also are going to be taking Karn Sleep Armless. This had the exotic perk Vampire's Caress. Melee kills instantly restore a large amount of health and continue to restore health afterwards for a short duration. So now when you get a melee kill, not only you get all these benefits with your gun, you're also going to proc your health generation, which will then help with the survivability of this build a lot. And for stats, 100 resilience is good for survivability and 100 strength, so you can obviously get your melee back as much as possible, so you can always keep procking this on the gun 24/7. Now, get into fragments. I do like to run Isolar Bolts, so whenever I freeze targets, it can actually go out and freeze additional enemies, which is going to be nice. And then a Glacier Harvest, so when I freeze enemies, I spawn Stasis Shards. These Stasis Shards are going to play into our mods, but on top of that, it also is going to give us a lot of melee energy back when you pick those up as well. Everything else, you can kind of run whatever you want to, but for fragments, I run Whisper of Hedron, so dramatically increases weapon stability, weapon aim assist, weapon airborne effectiveness, mobility resilience, and recovery after freezing a target with Stasis. This is actually very strong. If you do want to take only 60 resilience, 60 recovery, and 60 mobility, you could do that because this fragment actually will provide a plus 40 to all of those stats, and so you will get 100 in each of those stats just by getting one freeze off. Now, the main part of this and why I did try to optimize it as much with this is for the fact that I'm focusing on the top half of the perk where you get more weapon aim assist, airborne effectiveness, and weapon stability. So what's really cool is that the Warlock has melee ability Penumbral Blast. So you're going to play your Ice Staff, send a little blast of Stasis out that will either kill or freeze an enemy. The cool thing is that you also have Isolar Bolts to make sure you freeze the enemy, so even if this doesn't, you will always proc Whisper of Hedrons 24/7. But now since your melee is going to freeze and damage people, you're going to be proccing Whisper of Hedrons, you're going to be proccing Right Hook, you're going to be proccing Swashbuckler, and you're going to be proccing Karn Sleep Armless just by getting one melee off. You get a lot of synergies with that, and it's not even done there because we haven't gotten to the mods. But for the other fragments, I am running Whisper of Fractures, so my melee just recharges faster when I'm near enemies. This is good, obviously, to get your melee back as much as possible. Whisper of Impetus, I think I said that correctly, but damage to targets with the Stasis melee is going to reload your stowed weapons, which is really nice with this build because, like I said, you can use Fourth Horseman, burst down a target, hit an enemy with your Stasis melee, and now your gun's reloaded, which is really cool. Then Whisper of Rending, so my kinetic weapons will do more damage to frozen targets. So if my Penumbral Blast does freeze an enemy or Isolar Bolts freeze an enemy, this will actually make my kinetic Stasis weapons work as well, do more damage, so I can just easily kill them alongside all the other benefits I'm getting by just getting one melee off. But now getting into the mods, we need to start off talking about Melee Wellmaker. So this is going to make it so my power melee kills will actually spawn a elemental well. So I will get a Stasis elemental well, which will play heavily into our mods, but on top of that, it will also give you ability energy back. Now I'm also going to be running elemental shards, so whenever I pick up a Stasis elemental shard, which again I'll be making all the time, it is going to act as elemental well. So I'm essentially spawning elemental wells in two different ways, by melee and by freezing chasing people. To take advantage of those elemental wells, I'm running an elemental charge, so I'm going to become charger light when I pick up them. And also, again, since I'm making a bunch of wells, I will still get all that ability energy back. I will then run heavy handed, so while I'm charger light, I'm going to regain half my melee energy when I use my melee, consuming 1 stack of charger light. So now every time I use my melee, you're going to get half the energy back. With every other thing that is giving us melee energy back, you can have your melee up 24/7 and proc all these cool benefits that synergize so well together easily and consistently. Then finally, I will also be running Font of Might. So whenever I pick up an elemental well that matches my subclass type, I will get another damage bonus. So again, just really quick, just to talk about how everything is going into this. When you throw your melee, you're getting half your melee energy back. But the thing is, though, that melee is then going to spawn a shard or an elemental well, depending on if it kills or freezes, which will then give you Font of Might, which is a damage buff. And you will also get Talonsoft Swashbuckler and your right hook origin trait procced. On top of that, you're also going to get Whisper of Hedrons procced and Vampire's Caress, which is going to help with your survivability. And you're going to have a very stat heavy SMG that has 2 forms of a damage buff, and it still gets better from there because you can also take the perk Bottomless Bounty. So this is going to improve the effects of right hook, which is going to make the SMG even more stronger. It is honestly ridiculous, and you can have pugilists on it as well, so you can get that melee back faster too. But other mods, I do like to run Harmonic Siphon, so whenever I defeat combatants with a weapon that matches my subclass type, I make an Orb of Power. It's pretty easy to do. This is Stasis, and I'm using a Stasis subclass. I run double recuperation to help with survivability, so when I pick up orbs, I get some health back. That with Karnstein Armlets and 100 resilience makes you extremely tanky. I do just have some damage resistant mods on, and the ability to take whatever champion mods I need if I do want to take this into harder content. And then finally, on top of that, I also have a outreach on, which is okay, but the main thing is 1-2 finisher. If I ever do need to finish an enemy to get my melee back, it will require 1/6 of my super energy, but the super for Stasis isn't the greatest. It's not bad, but you can for sure just use that to make sure you get your melee back, so you can always keep proccing everything together that will synergize into this submachine gun, and it can just lay waste on a bunch of enemies. But yeah, that is pretty much the build. I really hope you all enjoy it. Like I said, this is definitely not the most optimal build for super hard in-game content. It is very fun and it is very synergistic, and I think it is a blast to try out. And if you want to try it out, I will have a dim link to the build in the description below. But be sure to let me know what you all think about it, and that is going to do it all for me. If you guys did enjoy it and want to see more content just like this, consider subscribing, drop a like, turns notifications on. Also, if you like, join my Discord or follow me on any of my socials, all that will be linked in the description as well. But I just want you to know that watching this video is way more than enough, and that every single bit of support from you all is truly appreciated. Thank you all so much for watching this one, and have a great day. Peace.